Okay, it looks like we're gonna go live here. I think we're live. So, hey, good morning, happy Friday, everyone. This is Robert and Patrice. We're here once again, the second week in a row for our. I don't know. We got to come up with a title for this, Patrice. Fridays with Sage or 10 minutes with Sage. I don't know. I'm sure what we're gonna call it. We're gonna have to come up with a name pretty soon here.
Yeah.
But, welcome, everyone. I'm back here with Chief Servant Officer of Nehemiah Project, Patrice Tsague. Like I said last week, hopefully you caught some of it. If you didn't, go back to last Friday's episode, which is the first of our, I'm thinking, our weekly Friday Facebook Lives. Just 10 quick minutes to give you some type of practical tips on ways that you can bring innovation into your business. And that means a lot more than just bringing technology in. And we're going to talk about that again. So, Patrice, welcome back. Well, I guess
Good to be back, Robert.
Welcome back, because this is your Facebook page. So, but it's
good to be good to be back. Good to be here. Good to be home. I was supposed to be in Congo, remember?
And that's a trip that was canceled.
Yeah, that was.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a big trip. So okay, so that's a big trip they got.
I know. Congolese. If anybody from Congo is listening, I look forward to seeing you guys in June. But glad to be home.
Wow. Okay. So good. Well, I'm glad we caught you then at a good time. And so I want to talk about innovation. And actually, as I shared actually before I got on, was that we just completed a business plan competition with 3 entrepreneurs that were taking the online executive course. And and they all brought innovation to their business, to their field, in some unique ways. And one of them, and it's one is a client of yours too, or a client, and quote, actually, you're one of his clients, because you're in his gym,
both.
Right?
I coach him and he coaches me.
Yeah. So a great physical trainer in the Portland area, and he's got a lot of great clients. I mean, he works with athletes, right? And so professional athletes all the way down to the high school level, helping them, be better performers, but also, there's those that have sustained injuries, and so that him and his team are able to rehabilitate them. And so I thought the unique thing that he brought to his industry, he talked about how he can get, he's been able to get guys with torn ACLs and get them back on the field within 2 weeks, which is pretty unheard of. But he's got some unique practices that he has. So that in itself, I know is innovative. So again, going back to the fact that it's not necessarily bringing technology in, but it's how he's able to help the body heal just through his techniques. And also the way he just ministers to these kids, because a lot of these kids, a lot of the athletes, a lot of times they don't have their sense of identity. Their identity is tied into their sport. And he came from that background as well. And he's realized that, hey man, the sport's going to end, even if they make it to the professional level, which is a very few percentage. But even if they make it to the professional level, the sport eventually ends. And what happens after that? And so one of the things he does is how he really ministers and pastors these kids and gives them a sense of identity, and even the adults, I guess. And that's really, I think, what sets him apart in the industry. And you know him a lot better than I do, since you work with him in both ways, as a client and as a customer.
So no, for sure. Ryan, in the company is called New Athlete, right here in Vancouver, Washington, not
Canada,
not Canada. Mm-hmm. When we talk about innovation, Robert, oftentimes the focus is on new widgets, right? Mm-hmm. Right. But the essence of innovation is about making improvements. Mm-hmm. Right, it's making things better. Right. The way we like to say in BE is that invention is making new things, while innovation is making things better. So here it is in the sports industry, right? In personal fitness, what Ryan did was make that process better by doing what you suggested, which is he brought passion into it, he brought compassion into it, and he brought unique techniques that enables the young people to improve performance, but at the same time speaking to values that will protect and preserve them beyond sports. How innovative, because oftentimes we think of innovation, we're thinking about an improvement on an Apple product or something that Microsoft did. What we miss is that as entrepreneurs, as kingdom business owners, as Christians, we have a responsibility, no, an obligation to approach every product or service, to approach every business that we're doing with innovation in mind. How can I do this different? Mm-hmm. How can I improve it? And the improvement may just be that I really care about the person and not just about the transaction. What an improvement. Mm-hmm. Because we know that in some industries, it's not about the person. It's about the transaction.
Right.
Right. And so when I happen to, when I'm in town, I go to Ryan's gym, and you see all these young people and these athletes in there. Everybody is on their own, kind of working out, doing their thing. But they're there because it's a safe place. They're there because he cares about them. They're there because he's going to help them improve their performance without compromising or losing sight of what's most important to them. And I think that's innovative.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's where it's great that you touched upon that, because yes, innovation is not about just the technology and all that. Of course, it can help. I mean, I think even for his business, technology and help running his business obviously could bring innovation. But for what he does and the service he provides, just the way he does it, and just the way he interacts with people and him and his team, improving. I love the way that you say that. So we had, a couple other obviously entrepreneurs in the program, as you know, and one is in Liberia. And so
wasn't that, to me, that was powerful. I mean, here's the innovation. So watching Bruce, she's taking the training from Liberia, taking your online class. By the way, this was Robert's class. Robert, thank you for your leadership in that.
That's after you bowed out on me.
I know. I have a reputation of not finishing these days. So, but Robert, that was one of the best competition I've attended, to be honest with you. The fact that it was online and it was so effective. So watching Bruce, she's in Liberia. She is competing from her cell phone. I mean, how innovative. So she's doing a business plan competition on her cell phone in Liberia using a hotspot.
Yeah.
That alone, let's not go further. Yeah. That's innovation.
Yeah. Thank God for technology.
We couldn't do that 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. And if you did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it would have cost you, $1. It would have cost you so much money. It would cost some change. Mm-hmm. But look at how we've moved. Here's that's beautiful about that. Here's the gal in one of the poorest countries in Africa, wants to change her country, raise up entrepreneurs that are transformative. She has a passion, spending her own money, right? Getting contracts from all these other multinationals and spending it on trying to get this thing going, launching biblical entrepreneurship there. And she is competing, taking a class via her cell phone, mm-hmm. using hotspot. And by the way, she says, Patrice, what you guys are listening, she said when electricity goes out, her phone may go off. I thought that was innovative. That was courageous. That was innovative. And boy, that was purpose.
Yeah.
Forget the idea. That alone to me.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as innovation, how that could be, is innovating the business is how you learn, because there's so much content out there now, and we don't have any excuse of being able to continually learn and help our own business by just learning from others and taking courses and classes, because there's all kinds of online platforms. Everybody's doing online stuff now because, well, you kind of have to, because it's also easier. I mean, that's, speaking of, doing it virtually, I mean, my first virtual class was when I was helping a group of entrepreneurs in Bozeman, Montana. And being here in Pasadena, it's hard to have a 3-month course. And so, just utilize Zoom. What we're doing here, we're using Zoom to actually connect into Facebook Live to bring value to the people out there.
I was so moved by her presentation, Robert, and I said it really emboldened me. You're the vice chair of our board, and I'm not sure how you felt. It emboldened me to get up every day to do what I do. Mm-hmm. Because I said to myself, there's no reason why a gal like that, we shouldn't have enough sponsors, mm-hmm. enough entrepreneurial sponsors to be able to come alongside her to say, watching, how many entrepreneurs do you want to train? Mm-hmm. We will come alongside and help you do it.
Yeah.
Because to me, I mean, that to me was wow. I was moved. Now, she did not win the competition, but she definitely won in my heart for courage.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. She's definitely had a story. I mean, the way she started out, just watching her family die.
And what's amazing about her story is that she's going back to help the very people that killed her family.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
that's innovative.
I mean, you follow me? You're talking about forgiveness. You know, we're working on a book that we're about to release this year on another biblical entrepreneur out of Congo. And his name is Tresor. He launched an NGO. And a similar story, what Tresor has done is he came to the U.S., learned, and built an organization that he's now doing in Congo to help his people. Well, he has a story of tragedy and war coming out of that and going back to help. And that's similar to her. I mean, they burned her family's assets, killed her father. I mean, you know, let me first say this, Robert, and I have to say this. Listen, I know that people oftentimes get discouraged and get discontented and feel, you know, distrust government and feel like, you know, the rich gets richer, the poor. But as Christians, it doesn't help when we burn people's stuff. It doesn't help when we destroy stuff. I mean, it's just, I mean, I'm not sure. It just doesn't compute in my head. I mean, guys, if trust, and I hate to sound cliche, trust Jesus. I mean, you follow me? Listen, everybody's struggling. People that you think have money doesn't have the money you think they have.
Yeah.
You follow me? And so because what we realize, what we miss is that when we hurt people, even though we think they're the rich, we think that there are real people in those families that are getting hurt, who, by the way, may not be as bad as you think you are, or you think they are, and may be innocent, but because you perceive them to be rich, you go after them. And here's a gal who have risen above and come back, and she's helping her people.
Yeah. No, amazing story. And then, I mean, that's innovative thought for a lot of people, is to go back and help the people that hurt you and your family. So, hey, I want to leave it at that. I think let's continue this conversation for next Friday. So I guess maybe a little cliffhanger for everybody, because we only have 10 minutes and we want to keep it short and simple. But hey, we've got weeks and weeks ahead of us until you get to Nehemiah week. So definitely let's continue this conversation next week. I think maybe talk about the book a little bit, of the other story. And so hopefully everybody, you heard little bits of what innovation can look like. And it's not just about technology, it's how you serve your customers, how you deal with your customers, how you even give back to the very people that hurt you. I mean, God redeems everything. and that could just, it's amazing. So, hey, thanks, Patrice, again for this Friday, for sharing your heart, sharing the story. And look forward to next Friday.
Awesome.
All right. Hey, God bless everyone. And we'll see you next Friday. Have a great weekend.